people, welcome to another video with your girl Shyvonne. So today I will be doing a get ready with me story time. I already curled my hair, I didn't style it yet, and I'm going to put on my makeup while I tell you my story time basically, guys. So if you're interested in hearing about it, I know you've seen the thumbnail, the title. Thank you guys for clicking on the video, I really appreciate it. And thank you to all of my loyal subscribers. Yes baby, I'll give you some more. My lifetime loyals, and thank you to the new subscribers. So if you're interested in seeing this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's hop into it. So beautiful people, I decided to do a voiceover because the kids were around and some things are just not for kids. I've actually recorded this video 3 times. This is my 3rd time recording it, and I wanted to shorten it because it was kind of lengthy. It was about over an hour every time I recorded it, so I was just trying to make it a little shorter for you guys. So let's hop into the story time so that I can tell you all about it. The items that I'm using for the makeup, I will list them down below just in case you're interested. The video is not sponsored. This is just things that I use for my makeup. And I only do a full face when I'm going to like a wedding or some type of event, big event for work or things like that. I'll also do another makeup routine for you guys. That's just my everyday normal makeup routine. Super simple, and it'll take probably like 10 minutes to get done. So I'll show that to you too. So let's hop into the story time. So to tell this story, guys, I need to start from the beginning so that you can fully understand everything that took place, and then it'll lead into my 16th birthday. Okay. So just bear with me. It's not going to be long, but I just want to give you some background so that you understand. So when I was 15 years old, I was about 15 and a half, and I had 3 older cousins, a girl and 2 boys, and they were going to Cedar Point. And they were like, hey, you want to go to Cedar Point with us? And I'm like, sure. You know, this Cedar Point is an amusement park. I'm going to get to ride some rides. I'm going to have a great time. Oh my gosh. Yes. And we get to stay in a hotel. There's a pool. Sure, I want to go. So they were like, well, ask Auntie if you can go. I'm like, yeah, she ain't gonna let me go. She ain't gonna let, but I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna ask, you know, they were paying for everything. So it wasn't like I needed a lot of money or anything like that. So I was like, Mom, can I go to Cedar Point with them? And she, what you need to go to Cedar Point with them? They're older. You don't need to be hanging out with them. So I'm like, oh, come on, Mom. They said I could go with them. You know, they're going to pay for everything. You don't got to worry about nothing. They're going to make sure I'm okay. So after bugging her for a little while, she finally caved in and she allowed me to go. Now, I didn't know that this was like a couple's trip at the time. Had no idea this was a couple's trip. And I found out that my 3 cousins were bringing their, you know, their boyfriend, girlfriends. And then there was an extra guy who was coming along. And I guess at the time he liked me. And this was his way of getting me to come along on the trip, basically. So we drive up to Cedar Point. We get to the hotel, or we go to the hotel first. Of course, we have our bags and stuff. And we get there kind of like in the evening. We stop at the store. Now, the whole time we're riding up there, I don't recall like talking to him or anything like that. I knew him from the neighborhood, but, you know, he was older. So I'm 15. He had to be maybe 17 or 18. And I just wasn't interested, put it that way. I really wasn't interested. So we get to the hotel, and each couple has their own room. So my cousins, it was a 2-room suite, basically. 2 rooms per suite. So it was 2 rooms, a living room, a kitchen, you know, kind of set up like that. So I'm like, well, where am I going to sleep at? Oh, you can sleep in there with him. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'll just sleep out here on the couch. I'm good. I'm good. And so I'm like, my mom is not, no. My mom would have a fit. Are you crazy? So, of course, you know, I'm a virgin and everything like that. So I'm 15. I'm just coming to have a good time, the weekend, you know, chill out. So, of course, I don't drink or smoke or nothing like that. That's just not me. That wasn't me. I'm a kid, basically. I was still playing with baby dolls, guys, to be honest with you. Still playing with baby dolls. I remember And I grew up in the projects, if you don't know. But I remember me and my sister would bring our little blanket outside and lay it outside on the, on the little concrete and bring our baby dolls. And people would walk past and laugh at us because we were out there playing with baby dolls. But I was cool, I didn't really care. I was cool. So I'm like, I'm not sleeping there. I'm not sleeping there with him. So I think we were there for maybe 3 days. I'm trying to think. I want to say like 3 days. So eventually I did go and lay down in the bedroom because the couch was uncomfortable. I did. But anyway, so we went to Cedar Point. We did we did the rides. We hung out at the hotel. We had a good time. I think we did like where we were watching movies and stuff. We just had a good time. So eventually I started talking to him and getting to know the guy a little bit better. But I was still talking to somebody at that time. So I had like a little boyfriend, put it that way. I had like a little boyfriend. So yeah, so I don't know. I just wasn't thinking that he would be my boyfriend or anything like that. So I'm just having a good time, enjoying Cedar Point, enjoying the time with my cousins and such. And so on the way home, we get back home and, he makes it known that he wants me to be his girlfriend. I'm like, I already talked to somebody and I'm good. But, he was charming. He was charming and I kind of fell for him. So I broke up with the other guy and I started talking to him. Now, I'm 15 in ninth grade, I think, right? Ninth grade. And he's 17, 18 and did not go to school. Now, I did find out that at the time he did have like a juvenile record and somehow he had escaped from juvie or something like that. So, he was real cautious about being certain places and going out and all that. So, yeah, he didn't want to have nothing to do with police or nothing like that. So once we actually established that we were boyfriend and girlfriend, things kind of changed, of course, He became very controlling, demanding, verbally abusive, mentally abusive, physically abusive. Basically, it was do what he wants when he wants. And I remember days going home with my fingers swollen or bruising, all kind of bruising. I'm just trying to get my words right, if you understand. So I never told my mom what was going on. I did not tell her what was going on. I just didn't feel, I don't know. I just didn't want her to know, basically. And I don't know. I remember being locked in his room for a while, and it was just a lot. It was just a lot. So I also found out that there were always rumors that he was cheating. Now, mind you, I was going to school and he was home during the day. So there were other women in the projects who were home, who had kids and such. So it was easy for him to do that, basically. And I wasn't checking like that. I was a cheerleader. I was on different committees. What else? I was also in the choir at the church, and I went to Bible study every Wednesday. So there were things that I was doing, but that kept me active. That kept me busy. So I didn't really have time to be checking to make sure that, he wasn't talking to other girls or seeing other girls or anything like that. But again, when I wasn't doing one of those things, he was very controlling, very abusive. And the sad thing about it is that I had girlfriends at the time who had older boyfriends too. And I remember us sitting outside in the projects on the benches, talking about getting beat up, showing each other our bruises. And, to me, it was just unreal. It was just unreal to go through something like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I liked him. At one point, I thought I loved him, but it was more of a, like a young love, scared at times. I was one of those women, girls, where I was like, whatever you like, whatever you like. I was a people pleaser. So that kind of, I don't know. And also I was insecure, definitely insecure a lot. So I don't know. I just felt like, you know, he's my boyfriend. Yeah, he might give me a little bit of money here and there, or he might buy me something nice. So, you know, just basically just to not cause problems, go ahead and do what he says, basically. So yeah, it was sad to be so young and go through such a traumatic experience. And when I say traumatic, because till this day, and it has gotten better. It has gotten better, but at one point I would have nightmares. I mean, just nightmares every single day about him. I did not want to hear his name spoken to me. I did not want to see his face at all. Did not. So I'll give you some information. So one time I remember being locked in his room for hours on top of hours. And when he finally let me out after like, hey, I got to go home. I got to go to school. You know, my mom, she's waiting for me. Why are you doing this? Crying. Like, I don't understand. So finally, he let me out the room. And I remember his mom pulling me into the bathroom. She was so sweet. Such a loving woman, really loving to her own kids and loving to everyone else. She was a really, really sweet woman. But I remember her pulling me into the bathroom and she was like, you got to leave him alone. You got to leave my son alone. He's not good for you. He's not the right one. And I'm like, I love him. I don't know what to do. And she was like, you need to leave him alone. What can I do to help you? I don't like seeing you like this. I don't know, it just kind of brings tears to my eyes thinking about it. But I'm like, how am I going to get rid of, or end this or whatever? I don't even know. Again, my girlfriends are in the same situation. So this is, I don't want to say like normal, but normal almost. So here comes my 16th birthday. Now my 16th birthday is in February, right? And so I remember getting dressed. And at that time I was working too. I forgot. I was actually working at TJ Maxx, I believe. I think I was working at TJ Maxx. And I had bought myself this sweater dress. And I had put on my little tights or whatever, not leggings. They were like tights under my dress. And they were cream. I remember they were cream. And it was a little warmer that day, but it was raining. It was raining. So I remember going to his house, going to the apartment. He was on the first floor. And in the buildings, there were 3 floors. So he was on the first floor. And I knocked on his door on my way to school because I had to walk that way to get to school. So I knocked on the door and I was like, hey, is he here? And his mom was like, no, he's not here. He's upstairs at such and such's house. And I'm like, well, what is he doing up there? But okay, all right, all right, I'm going to go up there. So I go upstairs. That's the 2nd floor. I knock on the door and one of her kids answers the door. And I'm like, hey, is such and such here? And they're like, oh, yeah, he's back there in the bed with my mom. They're asleep. Really? And I could see this so vividly in my mind right now. So I walk back there and he's laying in the bed closest to the door. She's laying on the other side and they're both asleep. And so I tap him and the look on his face is like, oh my gosh. Yeah, they're in the bed asleep like they're a whole couple and a whole family. And these are his kids running around and all that, like a whole couple. So I'm like, all right. I was like, you know what? I need some money for school. He like, what you doing here? What the heck? Like, I just need some money for school. I ain't got time. I ain't trying to argue with you. I just want some money for school. And so I remember him sitting up. So yeah, I remember him sitting up and grabbing his pants and he gave me like $20 or something like that. I can't remember, but I want to say it was like $20. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm out. And so in my mind, I was like, I'm done with him. I'm done. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to have a good day. I'm done with this. And yes, I always heard that he was cheating or whatever, but you never have no proof. There's never no proof. And so me and my girlfriends were walking. We have to walk up a hill to get to school. So we walk up the hill, and as we're walking up the hill, he comes running up the hill. Now, again, guys, it's raining. And so I remember I had on these ballet flats with the little cream tights and this little sweater dress that was like cream, brown, and it had different browns and stuff in it. It was really cute to me. I don't know. It was cute. I thought I was looking cute. And so I got my hair done and everything, and I thought I was looking cute. Here he comes. And so we're tussling back and forth. He's swinging me around, you know. So we're kind of basically fighting it on the little sidewalk or street as I'm trying to get to school. And I'm like, I'm trying to go to school. I don't understand. Who told you to come up there? Anybody tell you to come up there? Why you I do what I want. All that. We're tussling. I'm trying to get to school, and I can hear my girlfriends like, leave her alone. Oh my gosh, leave her alone. And so after we get done tussling and everything, I remember getting to school, and my cream tights were muddy from like the knee down. They were muddy. I was so upset. I was so upset, like crying, and I can't believe I'm going through this. It's my 16th birthday. You know, your birthdays are supposed to be fun, special, have a good time. So I go in the bathroom. I remember trying to wipe off the tights a little bit to get some of the little mud splatters and everything off. And then people were like, oh, happy birthday, you know. So school was all right, you know, still had a somewhat decent day. So I got home, and I remember him, because again, you have to walk down the hill, and I passed his house to get home. And he was waiting, definitely waiting. He's like, I'm sorry, I want to take you out to eat. I want to take you out to eat. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to go. Oh, come on, I want to take you out to eat. And my girlfriend and her boyfriend was going to go with us. Was going with us. So I'm like, all right, well, fine. I'll go. I'll show. In my mind, I'm like, I'll show you. So we get to Red Lobster, and I remember ordering lobster, crab cakes, like just so much stuff, and eating like maybe 2% of it on purpose, because I just wasn't, number one, I wasn't in the mood. I was still upset, and I just wasn't feeling it. Like, all right, well, you want to take me out? Here, you can buy this. You can buy this. And so fast forward to, I decided to break up with him. It was towards the summer. So once we broke up, he did tell me that he was going to kill me. Yes. And so from everything that has gone on, and I remember being choked and everything, like, yeah, I believed him. I sure did. And so whenever I would go somewhere, I would ask one of my girlfriends to meet me. I wouldn't go anywhere by myself at all. So one time I remember I wanted to go up to my girlfriend's house, who lived like across the way from him. I said, hey, can you meet me? I want to come up for a little bit. So yeah, she came and she met me. We walked up to her house. I stayed up there till about 11 o'clock or so. And I was like, all right, hey guys, I'm getting ready to go home. Are you able to walk me home, walk me back home? And it wasn't far. We all lived in the projects, but I lived maybe like 5 minutes away or whatever in the projects, put it that way. And so she was like, yeah, I'm gonna ask my mom. So it was me, my girlfriend, and her mom. And we were walking back to my apartment building. And we were coming around some bushes, and I remember he hopped out of the bushes with a bat. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, he's really trying to hurt me. He was like, yeah, I'm going to catch you one day. You're going to be by yourself. Don't worry, I'm going to catch you. And when I do, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to kill you. Watch, I'm going to kill you. I remember my girlfriend's mom like, what is wrong with you? Leave her alone. She said she don't want to be bothered with you no more. You should know better than that. Like, what is wrong with, get yourself together, you know? And just me being terrified. So I didn't go anywhere by myself for a long time, guys, a long time. So I can't actually stress enough the way I felt. And like right now, I don't even want to talk to people. I just went to a wedding last year, and this guy that I knew had mentioned his name, and it just, I don't know, it just kind of sent like chills through me. I don't want to hear his name. I don't want to talk about him. Nothing at all. It took everything in me to go to his mom's funeral, because, you know, she was a sweet woman, and I truly loved her. She was really a sweet woman. But just to have to see him and be in the same environment with him was a lot. So like I said, I've had nightmares. I went through a lot at that time, and it kind of shaped all of my relationships moving forward. It really did. It kind of shaped all my relationships. Now, that's why I said with Ayana being 16, I'm so glad that she hasn't had to experience anything that I've had to experience at that age. And I didn't tell my mom about any of this until I was in my 30s, I think. Like in my 30s, I told her about it. I mean, I would come home with all kind of bruises, busted lip, fingers swollen from being bent back. It was a lot going on. And yes, he did buy me some nice things at times. He did give me money, but I was abused. I was abused. 15, 16, I was abused. So I don't know. Definitely talk to your girls. Definitely talk to your daughters, your goddaughters, your nieces. They may be going through a situation like this and you don't even know it. You just don't even know. So that's why I always talk to my girls. I want to know what's going on. I want to meet who they're dealing with, all that. So I just wanted to share my story. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. I will talk to you guys later. I love you to the moon and back. And bye. Mwah.